Good evening, you all. Gonna take just a second to let you guys get on, and we're gonna get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to get started because our chats here and everything will be reposted onto our YouTube channel and saved on our Facebook page as well. So, good evening, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Real Life Relationship Growth, our once a week segment. We come together called Camper Conversations. We come together to talk and chat and just get into different topics that we as adults deal with through on our day-to-day lives in relationships, whether that be relationships with your significant other, your parents, your children, anything that deals with the family network, we like to get into, we like to jump into. So, first things first, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. This is 2023. This is 2023. Yes, I am back. 2023, and we're ready to get into this year. Y'all, I'm not going to lie. 2022 was a wonderful, it was a great year. I have no complaints. Um, I loved it. Man, I enjoyed. I traveled. I met new people. Um, I removed some people, which is necessary in life sometimes for your peace and all of that good stuff. But we are here and we're going to do this thing in the new year. So let me give you guys that old introduction that I usually do. I am Donna. I am the creator of the Real Life Relationship Growth channel, page, family, group, because that's we all of that. We're all of that. Um, and I am not a relationship expert. I don't claim to be, don't proclaim to be, never said I was, never will be. I'm just a black woman in this world, living this life, doing the damn thing, and enjoying it. That is who I am. That is who I am. So I don't come on here and profess to be a professional. But what I do know that there are some things in life that I've experienced that may be helpful to someone. There are some things in life that you have experienced that may be helpful to someone. We're not here to critique and change people's minds and thoughts in a bit of a way. Because if someone teaches me something I don't know, or I'm doing something and I feel it's the best and the right way, and they come along and say, hey, if you turn this to the left, growth is always necessary in life. Growth is always necessary. We are constantly learning and constantly developing. So, very, very important that we come together and we are considerate of one another. We have different experiences. We've gone through different things in life. Um, and yours is what makes you, and mine is what makes me. So I'm not here to tell you you're wrong, but there may be another perspective that you never looked at. Same thing, vice versa. So that's what this is. That's what we're here for. Camper conversations, real quick for our newbies. I have a fifth wheel camper. Purchased one, did some camping outings and all of that good stuff, having a good time, did some fishing, whatever. But I was in my camper one day and I was like, yo, this would be a good idea to once a week come together and talk about some stuff. Let's talk with each other. That's how camper come. That's where the name came from. For some of you who may be confused, like camper, like what does that have to do with it? Thought about changing it, but that's what everybody knows it as. And most people know and understand where it came from and how that name came about. But our page, our family, our group is Real Life Relationship Growth. Last thing before we get into our topic, I am planning, myself and some friends are planning a singles mixer in Atlanta. We're planning a singles mixer. And the highlight of that singles mixer is we're going to have a live forum camper conversation. We're going to pick a topic. I'm going to do a poll. We're going to see what that gripping topic is for most people. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to pass the mic. We're going to have some brothers. We're going to have some sisters. We're going to have singles and married people as a part of this. Even though it is a singles mixer, married people, you all are a prevalent part of this page, and we're not going to leave y'all out because y'all may talk some talk that the single people aren't talking. They may have been married before, they may not have been married before. But that is what we're going to do with that. After that, married folks, sorry. Everything else, singles mixer. What we're doing: fun, games, food, meetups, get to know, all of that. All right. So, more details to come. Was getting into that a little bit this week with a friend of mine who is helping me plan this. So, you guys will get a date, trying to give everybody enough time because this is a weekend in the A. We're going to make this big. We're going to have a good time. All right, so here we go. Want to thank the brothers. Want to thank the brothers. Men as a whole, I feel like, my opinion, that the brothers get a bad rep on a lot of things. Their experiences and who they are made up different than ours and women. And a lot of times men don't come and talk. Men don't sit down and converse their feelings and emotions and things. Um, Sometimes with their significant other, and other times like with their brothers or whatever. They may come together and they may some, yo, what's up, man? And that may be the gist of it. We as women, we kind of delve in deeper and we get into our feelings and our emotions and we talk because life and society has told men and boys, you don't cry, you don't do this, you don't do that, you provide, you're there to work and da 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 da. And we forget that they have blood pumping through their veins and a heart that was created by the creator. So it was meant to do certain things. So big up to my brothers. And I say that because, ladies, they are still in front of you all with the topics in the inboxing. They inbox me topics and say, yo, talk about this, Donna. Because sometimes they don't feel like they can say it on the page or whatever. Again, let me mention this. Everything posted on the page is not my brainchild. Everything posted on the page does not come from Donna's thoughts and situations and experiences. I have no problem. I, Facebook user, you said me who, but I don't know who you are. Y'all got to give me some names so we can, you know, so I can know who I'm talking to. I'm not gonna call you Facebook user, but at this point, Facebook user was like, my sister is back, and meet who. I don't know who you are. So if you could put your name in the chat when you come on, I greatly appreciate it. All right, but the brothers, thank you all so much for finding real life relationship growth a safe space for you to share things that you want to talk about. And I get it. If you don't want to post to the page, the page does have an option to post anonymously. So if you have a topic or subject and you don't feel comfortable sending it to me to post, no judgment here. But if you don't, excuse me, you're welcome to post anonymously. Oh, Kevin, hey, babes. You're welcome to whoever it is there, Kevin, that you vibe with. That's who you meet. You're welcome to post to the page anonymously. But I don't have a problem with y'all inboxing me. So again, brothers, big up. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining, communicating, and being a part of this. Because we need y'all just as much as we need the women. Ladies, not forgetting y'all, my girls. Thank y'all too. I get a lot of inboxes, y'all. I get a lot of inbox messages from people saying to me, thank you for this. Like, I really appreciate this. Uh, really? Who is saying, hey, boss? I really appreciate you guys being a part of this. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. Our topic tonight, our first topic for 2023 is, and this came to me from someone, and I thought it was great. Um, sent this to me in a YouTube video, and I had been thinking about the topic, but I really didn't know how to kind of pull it together. Well, I did, but this just said to me, it gave me confirmation, yo, we're going to do this topic. All right. So the topic is, just because they come to your table doesn't mean they are meant to eat at your table. Just because they come to your table doesn't mean they are meant to eat at your table. Hmm. Just because they come does not mean they are meant to eat. All right. All right. So let's get into this. So listen, I'm the only one on camera. Didn't have anybody, didn't invite anybody to come on with me tonight on this topic. But we have the chat. Y'all type in the chat y'all thoughts. We all can see it. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. You all can see it. So we can respond to one another. All right? We can respond to one another. Let me see what we looking like over here, y'all. We can respond to one another. So, all right. Okay, here we go. All right. Sorry, I just had to check that because y'all know I had some technical difficulties getting this thing started. Not always going the right way, but it looks like everybody should be able to see. Yep, there it is. Let me turn this down. Okay, so yeah, I see the names on Facebook, but of course I don't see the names popping up here. So y'all got to help me out, and y'all have to type your name in the chat. Okay, turn it down. All right, let's try to get it here. Me who? Hey, Christina, you the one that said, hey, boss lady. Hey, Christina, what's up, girl? What's up, girl? All right. So just because they come to your table doesn't mean they are meant to eat at your table. Doesn't mean that they have to eat at your table. So, okay. So a lot of times, let's not say a lot of times, I'm a single woman. Been married before, but I am now single. Um, and I am in a space and a place where I'm enjoying my life. There is such a peace here. There's such a, I can't even explain it, but if you got it, you know what it feels like. So much to the point that I refuse to allow anyone to disrupt this peace. Refuse to allow anyone to disrupt this peace. In that does not mean or say that I do not want to be in a relationship and I do not want to be with someone. My perspective, right? There are people that have their own perspective, and their own perspective is I'm single, I'm enjoying where I am. I may enjoy every now and then date or something like that, but I'm good. It's not necessary for me to be in a relationship. I'm good. So that's where you are. But um, being single, there are a lot of people that come my direction, as some of you as well, that come your direction. And everybody, as the topic says, everybody that comes your direction, everybody that comes to the table are not meant to eat, are not meant to be there at your table. We have to make decisions, and we have to decide who it is that we're going to entertain when they come to the table. So sometimes as single people, and I don't really think it matters what age you are, how old you are, um, to have this feeling or not. How you handle it will be different. But the fact of the matter that it happens really doesn't matter what age you are, how old you are when this happens, right? So you're single and you're in a place where you're finding yourself, you're lonely. Holidays come around, you think about wanting to be with someone. Special occasions, birthdays come around, and you're like, I'm single, I don't have a man or a woman to spend this special time with. And some people get so complacent in those thoughts where they fall and find themselves in the position of dealing with people that they, on a in different circumstances, would not. They would not. Hey Tony, that they would not deal with those particular type people, right? But when you're single and you're positioning yourself to do certain things and be a certain way and move a certain way, there's an attraction there. There's an attraction. People see that. And they're interested, right? And they're interested. Um, the statement was made, I heard the statement one time, things that look shiny and new is what attracts people, right? When we see things shiny and new, it's attractive to us, right? So being single, I personally have to say that I tend to get a lot of attention. And it's appreciated. There's no bragging here, anything like that. Let me tell you, well, I say it's appreciated, but let me explain what that means when I say it's appreciated. It's appreciated because I think we all were created in a way that we need and desire certain things. If that were not so, God would not have created Eve. God would not have created a helpmate for Adam. Now, let me say this real quick. We don't all have the same beliefs here. This is what I believe. Whatever you believe, whatever works for you, whatever helps you in life, I'm not here to try to change that. This is coming from a factor of creation. Let's talk about creation, right? There's male and there's female. Regardless of who you believe created male or female, I personally feel like God, male or female, there were two created. And there takes two to produce another life. There's no question in that. I don't care how you look at it, how you say two men can't produce life, two women can't produce life. It takes a man and a woman. So, being that we were created that way, when we get compliments, when someone needs us, when someone gives accolades, it feels good. So, when I say I appreciate it, just in that thought alone, it's appreciated. All right. So, sometimes there's attention that comes to us, people in general. There's attention that comes to us. That's not necessarily the attention that's healthy, that's respectful, that's wanted or desired. So when people get in situations where they are feeling lonely and they feel a need and they want these things over anything, sometimes they fall into the status of having people at their table that should not be there eating. And we're going to talk about why that ends up happening. That ends up happening. Kevin. So, what does it take to get an invite to a single woman's table? I'm older and I'm hungry. I don't want to be invited to a table just to look at food and I can't have. I understand that. I understand that. But this is coming from a me standpoint. When I say me standpoint, I don't mean me, Donna. I mean all of us sitting here saying me, looking at a personal standpoint for yourself, right? So just because they come to your table doesn't mean they are meant to eat. Um, Being single, and for those who are, and falling into that place of loneliness. Loneliness, a place of loneliness can be a dangerous place for some. It can be a dangerous place because you find yourself in positions of being here, of being in a place where you're inviting people and you're entertaining people that don't belong at your table, that don't belong at your table. So when you realize and see that you are entertaining, you got to ask the question. The question has to be asked, why are you entertaining this person? Why are you entertaining this person? Are you and this person compatible? Is there a compatibility between the two of y'all? Or are you looking at it and saying, you know what? I'm bored. Why? This is the why. Asking the questions why. I'm bored. Again, like I mentioned, it's the holidays. It's a special time. Birthdays coming up. Whatever, whatever, whatever. So let me just let this person come, give them a plate, and let them eat at my table. Let's just do that. And when we do that, we find ourselves entertaining people that should not be entertained. So the why, we talked about some of the whys. Y'all tell me what y'all think some of the whys are why people entertain. Hey Michelle, hey Leah. Y'all tell me some of the whys why y'all think that people entertain giving plates, serving those who don't even belong, eating at their table. Eating at their table. I think loneliness is the big one. Loneliness is the major one. This is the biggest thing that says, um, I just want somebody. I just want somebody there. Um, so the why. So are you just looking to do something? You just looking for something to do? Some people are just looking for something to do, which I think is selfish and a waste of time. And a waste of time. Boredom is definitely a reason. Yep, Tony. Boredom is a reason. Some people entertain because they're bored. They entertain for just being nice and avoiding loneliness. So Michelle's like for being nice. So they entertaining because they just want to be nice. Ladies, and I'm gonna say ladies on this side, fellas. It may have happened to you all, and may not have. But ladies, have you found yourself in a position where a guy is talking to you and he's coming at you and he's trying to have conversation or whatever, and you are truly not interested? You know you're not attracted to him. You're not interested. So how do you handle that? How do you handle that? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Back in the day when I was younger and inconsiderate, I didn't care how I said it. I know you not coming over here. I know you not sitting here. I know, yeah, it was wrong. I was young. It's foolishness. Um, but how do you handle that unwanted attention? Let's put it like that. How do you handle that unwanted attention? Hey, Finley. Michelle said for just being okay. Well, Finley said some people are scared to be alone. Some want a partner to do things with. Some just say, "Why not? I have nothing better to do." Tony says some people don't know how to be comfortable with just themselves. Yes, ma'am. That's a good one, Tony. That's a good one, Tony. Michelle said, I was just saying that to be nice. I don't really entertain anyone. I'm too busy for that. He's too busy for that, Michelle. Okay. But that unwanted attention, like the brother is coming, or the female or the lady is coming, and you just not. And you just not. So, ladies, I know sometimes it's an uncomfortable feel because you don't want to be rude. You don't want to hurt feelings. There is a point in time where being rude was necessary. Being rude um, was warranted and it has to be done. But how do you handle that? How do you handle that? So, some people, Tony says, some people don't know how to be comfortable with just themselves. Some people don't know, and that's perfect that you said that, Tony, because that feeds me right into the next thing that I was gonna say. Um, People tend to accept whatever they can get when they have not gotten to a point of being comfortable with themselves. Like Tony says, some people don't know how to be comfortable with themselves. And the point that's taking me into is the healing process. We are all adults. We are all grown. We have all been through something at some point in time in our lives. whether it's relational with a significant other, or if it's something that we've dealt with growing up and it's put a stain on how we deal with people or whatever. We've all been through different things. We've all been through different things. And when we take our unhealed toxic behavior into relationships, it makes it worse. It makes it bad. It doesn't make for a good relationship. But then what makes it worse is when we come out of relationships and we're hurt and we're broken down and we're beaten, especially a relationship that you did not want to end, especially that type of relationship. And you haven't healed from that. You haven't taken the time to look at it and see why this relationship has come to an end, what part I may have played in that relationship coming to an end, and how I can be better for the next. Hopping from person to person to person to person, hopping from person to person without being healed will kill the new relationship quickly. Michelle said there are places that you don't need to entertain anyone if you're lonely. For example, the club. Okay. Finley said, I've seen people just caught at the right time, meaning they are open to meet someone. However, there are people who know how to spit game, saying the right words, and bam, you're in a relationship. In a relationship. Huh. I think we've all been there at some point in time, in some way and somehow. You find yourself in a relationship that you should not be in. You find yourself accepting certain things that you should not accept. And loneliness, honestly, again, can be that number one key. That number one key of why. But let's talk about the healing segment of that. You come out of relationship, you didn't want to leave that relationship. You're hurting from that lost relationship. And then you find yourself saying, you know what? The best way to fix this is to be with somebody else, be with somebody new. And we end up taking that hurt, that pain, that toxicity, that unhealed heart and mindset into a new relationship. And we have people sitting at our table eating that have no business getting what's at the table. Michelle said that's true. I keep busy by working extra jobs and schooling. It hurts to think too much on the past. It hurts to think too much on the past. Um, well, how many folks want to be in a relationship? I'm healed 50 times over. Okay. All right. So let's go back a little bit. Michelle says she keeps busy, right? It hurts to think too much on the past. Michelle, I get what you're saying, but if I may, I think that's dangerous in doing things that way as well. Let me tell you why. Because when we don't directly face and deal with things, it just festers. It's like sweeping stuff under the rug. And I get focusing on you, staying busy, finding things to do that helps. But when you don't deal with something and face, the healing process cannot take place. The healing process can't properly take place. The Hey Edward, the healing process can't properly take place. So when we find reason and excuses to make ourselves busy, as opposed to dealing with why I'm here, why I'm feeling this way, it finds its way to creep back in to where we are. So I have to say, here we go, ding, ding, ding. We know I hit it. Counseling. Counseling, counseling, counseling. Counseling is the best gift you can give yourself. The best gift you can give yourself. When you go into counseling being honest about what's going on, being open to the process, it's almost like someone who's coming from being an alcoholic and trying to know and fix that, they have to first admit that they're an alcoholic. So when you go to counseling and you're broken and you're open and honest to things, it helps and it builds you. That healing process. Because again, until we heal, we're going to have people eating off our table and taking up time that they don't deserve and they should not be getting, just because we're what we talked about, being lonely and just not really taking the time for ourselves. Taking the time for ourselves. Michelle said, I don't know what to do with what I can't change. I heal differently. I give myself 1 week or so and cry it out. Okay. Okay. If that's what works for you, if that's what works for you, um, crying it out, healing, hey, counseling. Michelle also said counseling is good, but somehow I don't know what they're going to tell me that I don't already know for myself. Hmm. Hmm. You don't know what they're going to tell you. Hey, Cynthia, that you don't already know yourself. Well, that's the thing, Michelle. We may already know it. We may already know what our issue and our problem is. But knowing it and knowing how to work through it and move beyond it are two different things, I think. Are two different things. Uh are two different things. Y'all see Jaja on here, but I know him as Mr. Edward. So um he said lonely and loneliness are two different aspects. Lonely and loneliness are two different aspects. I can agree. I can agree. Lonely and loneliness are two different aspects. So, since you said it, brother, break that down for us. Waiting for Tony said a lot of times counseling gives you different perspectives. Right. To the point of what Michelle said, they may you may go into counseling already knowing what it is. But like Tony said, different perspectives that you may not even have thought about, looked at, or been in a situation where you can see what you don't see. What you don't see. Counseling is the best. Counseling is the best thing you can do for yourself. Eddie said people have to learn how to take time to themselves and use tools that will grow them. Totally agree. Tools that will grow them. Tools that will grow them. Hey, Charles. Kevin said being healed means the anger and disappointment doesn't trigger you any longer. Healing allows you to stand firm in you. Truth. It allows you to establish boundaries that will help prevent the wrong person from entering your life. Establishing boundaries. I love that, Kevin. Boundaries, having to establish boundaries. Charles, counseling, crying, talking it out, and praying are excellent ways to heal and get through it. For me, doing those things have helped me heal. Yep, yep. You may not want to admit it. And like Michelle said, you already know. You already know going into counseling what the problem is. But what you may not know is why you continue to do what you do. You may not know. You have to peel off some layers. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all know I'm pretty transparent. I don't mind sharing some things. Until I sat down and truly um, had some deep rooted counseling. Because I think at some point we've all said, "Oh, I've done counseling. I've done counseling." A week of counseling healing does not. We can't go to counseling for a week and say, "Oh, I'm good. I went to counseling." So that has happened to me. Until I took some true, deep rooted time in with counseling, months, years, time, I didn't really understand why I was allowing and entertaining the type of men that I was. That I was. And here we go, Michelle. I knew because relationships would end, and if they end, some end, they end. But relationships end, I knew what going into it. But when it ended, I'm sitting there like, dang, well, what happened? Well, and this and this and that and this and that, right? But going into counseling, it went way back. It dug so deep that helped me to understand and see why, to make me change what I do moving forward and how I dealt with moving forward. Let me go back. I don't want to miss anybody's and Facebook users again. I need y'all to type your name because when I see it on here, I'm still having to look back on here to see who said what. So Edward, Mr. Jaja said, lonely is the act of knowing you're at peace and God is by your side. Loneliness is a mindset, and that's the situation where we feel the void with any and everybody. Everyone is not meant to touch you, and you're not meant to touch everybody. The transfer of energy is real. Say that, brother. Let me read the beginning of that again. Lonely is the act of knowing you're at peace and God is by your side. Loneliness is a mindset. Hmm. Loneliness is a mindset. Finley, hey Finley. Finley said it's okay to talk it out with yourself. However, are you asking the right questions? Example, when you go to the gym and work out by yourself, you don't always get the best workout. Think of that. Think of that with a counselor. I like that. I like that perspective, how you put that, sir. You don't always know the right questions. You don't always know the right questions. Yeah, you can't get with the workout. You can get online and look up workouts and tell, but when you get with a trainer, your body start getting right because that trainer has prepared, studied, knows the anatomy, knows the how this moves and that moves and what gives that growth and what builds muscle or whatever, whatever. The trainer can help you get to that high peaking point. Counselor. The counselor can do that. I love that. I love that. Hey Tasha girl, what's up, man? All right. So Kevin says some folk have a trauma addiction, meaning the abuse had become so routine that they got used to it. Then when the good thing comes along, you don't know how to respond. Deal with the trauma first and foremost. Totally agree. Deal with the trauma. We find ourselves entertaining people that we have no business. Dana, what's up? We have no business entertaining because we have not dealt with the issues and problems or healed from the things that were back here that we're pulling forward to it with us. Bag Lady. Erica Badu wrote the song Bag Lady. You gonna hurt your back dragging all those bags like that. Whoo! Let them things go. But do it in a way where they won't continue to creep back and come back on you. Healing is so crucial. Healing is so crucial. So, what is your fear? When we look at allowing people to come in, what is our fear that we're going to miss out on something? What is the fear that makes people think that way and react that way? Like they're going to miss out on something. Like, if I don't take this one, there may not be anybody else that comes along. Me personally, before I accept just anything, I will be by myself because I'm not going to accept anything that comes along. Been there, done that, will not. But here we are growing together. So if you're finding yourself in a position where you know you're in a relationship where you just accepted somebody just to have somebody, dig deep, counseling, dig deep and see where you are, why you're doing that, and how you feel about yourself. How you feel about yourself. Because first and foremost, if we don't love ourselves, hey Teresa, what up, babe? If we don't love ourselves and understand what it means and how that means, we can't, one, love other people, and we can't allow ourselves to be properly loved and treated. Boom, 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 boom. Jaja, Mr. Edwards said everything has a process, and in order to get through the hell and storm, we have to keep going. See, most people are scared of the results on the other end. See, as we know, we all have been broken at some point. But when you meet a broken man or woman, you heal each other. You heal each other. He also said the problem is we all want it too fast. Go through the process. Yes. Go through the process. Go through the process. Let's dig on that for a second. When we meet the broken man or woman, help heal each other. I've heard people say, I'm not here to heal. I'm not here to fix her. I'm not here to fix him. And I think there's a degree of understanding that. There's not a thing. I know there's a degree of understanding that. But also, like Edward said, everybody at some level and point has gone through something. You are not going to meet a person who isn't broken. You are not on this earth going to meet a person who is not broken. But what you would like to do, and what was wonderful to do, is to meet someone who is healed or healing through their brokenness. Healed or healing through their brokenness. And if you can be with someone, like he said, that you can help heal each other, then to God be the glory. Because the matchup, the people that are coming together, like minded, and know that there are problems and there are situations, and we got to get through this. We got to get through this. Tony says self love is key. Teresa, hey, babe, that's my sister. You have to know if the broken person wants to be fixed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Because you can come in again, somebody eating at your table that should not be there at your table. They're not meant. Some people like drama and games and the toxic stuff. Some people like that. Some people don't want to be healed and don't want to be fixed. And if you find yourself in that situation, y'all, let them have it. Let them have it. Because we in a place of healing here. We're in a place of growth. We're not trying to stay back. We're not trying to stay back. Kevin said, being transparent, I was afraid of being played, and as such, I would be distant. That cost me some great opportunities. Fear no longer rules me. I've lost too much due to fear. I've lost too much due to fear. Yeah, fear has no place. Fear has no place. Fear is just being afraid of the unknown, period. Being afraid of the unknown. And if we don't take those chances in life, if you didn't take that chance and jump out and start your business, if you didn't take that chance and jump out and start that new job or move to that new city or whatever you did because you were afraid, you could possibly never be at a place of success where you are now. Fear has no place. Jaja said, ask about how, when, or have they ever been broken instead of what color, food, etc. Yeah, at a certain point in place. But you know the thing with that, Edward, the thing with that, listen, the conversation will tell you who they are. Yeah, and I get that. But Kevin made a point, and that was his, his perspective and his point. Like he was afraid to move out there and do that. He was afraid to, and to that, what I'm saying is, Yeah, ask those hard questions. You have to. When you get to a certain point, some people feel guarded because they feel like it's none of your business until we get to a certain place. But you have to, if you're interested in someone, you're trying to build and grow with someone, you have to have those conversations. You're right. I'm not worried about really what color is your favorite color. That's something I'll learn in time. But I need to know I need to know how your last relationship ended and why did it end. That will explain the brokenness. That can explain the brokenness. Put the prerequisites to the side and learn them. It's not only conversations, it's their actions. Teresa said it's not only conversation, it's their actions. Most definitely, it's their actions. It is their actions. But coming out and saying, hey, I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that. You know, some people will take that as a turnoff. They're like, oh, you got too many problems. But there again, you know the people that should be at your table. It's not just about entertaining unwanted attention, it's also about, in the process, learning, seeing who these people are. Like Teresa said, not only conversations, their actions will let you know. I want to share with this one. Give me my plate back. This is not your seat, sir. This is not your seat, ma'am. It gives us that. It definitely gives us that. Let's see who's saying Finley. Finley said, before finding a relationship, you should learn your insecurities. Whoo! I'm not saying you can't work on them and find someone. I'm saying you have to know you, because if you don't, you will repeat the same outcome. You might realize you're an enabler or have insecurities that the new partner can't help you change, can't help you with. The capacity. Oh, I love this, Finley, because it just brought that thought. It just brought that thought. Everyone does not have the capacity to deal with your hurt. Everyone does not have the capacity to deal with your brokenness. And if they don't have the capacity, if they choose for themselves, this is too much for me, this is going to break my peace, or this is going to take me to a place that I don't want to go, then that is okay. That is fine. Find someone who has the capacity to help you carry your load and help you lighten that load. That is the purpose and the point. Very good point, Finley. Thank you for that. That when I didn't I tell y'all, the brothers, ladies, y'all better be paying attention. These men in real life relationship growth are doing something. They elevating, they growing, and they telling us there's no guesswork in this. They're telling us exactly what it is from a man's perspective. Hmm. From a man's perspective. Okay, Mr. Jaja, Mr. Edwards saying being hurt is like seeds. Put them on a shelf, no growth. Plant them and cover them with a little dirt. Watch the fruits that seed produces. Bury the seed and it dies. So we eat and taste the same fruits when we farm the same. Learn how to pull the weeds out of your garden. Weeds are the devil, sir. Sir. Exactly. Being hurt is like seeds. No growth. Putting them on the shelf. Plant them and watch the fruits that the seed produces. Right. I love that. I love that. Heal on heal. What are your fears? What are your fears? So I'm gonna tip on something. And I debated if I was gonna tip on this or not, but I am. I'm gonna tip on this a lot. On this. Online dating. Online dating. Just because they come to your table doesn't mean they are meant to eat. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, in all honesty, I think I said this before. I was totally against online dating at one point. It scared me. It bothered me. It didn't seem natural in developing relationships to me. Talk to a few people, have a few friends with personal experiences, um, who either are in long-term relationships or have gotten married through online dating. But let me tell y'all the fears and the problems that online dating can bring. And I'm not talking against or for it. I'm on both sides of it. Do I do online dating? Yeah, I have. And truth be told, I I actually have a profile right now. Now, how much activity I'm doing on that is a question, but it sparked my interest again. And I think I get a lot of information from that, that helps with this. But let me say this: online dating, if you choose the online dating to date, to each his own, right? Because everybody's experiences are different with that. But online dating can bring the perspective that there's so many options and so many people. And everybody's saying all the right things. Hello, beautiful. You're gorgeous. I want to get to know you. I like to talk to you. Brother, you fine. Wait, all of that stuff, right? All of that stuff. And in all of that stuff on online dating, hearing these things and seeing people's faces and them putting their profiles up, giving a snippet of about who they are, right? Can put a person in a position where there's so many people they feel are at their table eating, giving time and attention to. I heard someone say the other day, I was on TikTok. Y'all know I love TikTok. I have a ball with TikTok. This guy made a post on TikTok and he was like, let's go back to the old way of dating where people met and they took the time to get to know someone, not the superficial profiles and things like that. And his point to that was you have so many options, so many people coming at you. So many, it's hard to know what's real. It's hard to know what's right, right? And he was saying, um, with online dating, with online dating, that you don't really get the chance and the time to really deal with one person and learn them and see them because it's that shiny thing. Like every it's all there. Like he's attracted to you. How many people you got likes and how many people you have and she likes you and she wants this and that. Just because you go that route, just because online dating may be your way of you may feel like it makes it easier. Some people say, well, my schedule's so hectic, I don't have time to go out and date. This is an easy way to do it. Whatever your reasoning is, keep people away from your table that don't belong there. And this could come also out of online dating. This could come from a place of this brother or this sister or whatever is just saying, hey, they see you and they attracted to you. Just because someone is attracted to you does not mean you have to reciprocate. You don't have to reciprocate just because someone is attracted to you. And people fall into that. People fall into that thing of there's so many and there's this and there's that. And they fall into the thing of getting caught up dealing with so many people and dealing with so many different um I'm sorry, dealing with so many different dealing with so many different people. Thank you for that message, babe. Thank you for that message. Dealing with so many different people that they lose sight of actually what is real and what is going on. So all I say with that is be careful. Know thyself. Because online dating for people who are not secure in who they are, people who don't understand how important it is to love themselves first, you will get eaten by the wolves. You will get eaten by the wolves. Just this My little perspective and my little advice on that, on that. When you have people eating at your table that don't belong, why are they there? Indecisiveness. Are people saying indecisiveness in you? Like, goes back to the question I asked about, ladies, how do you deal with unwanted attention? Oh, no, thank you. Okay. Some things, and I'm going to speak from a woman's perspective, some things that you say and do, your body language, the way you look or whatever, is inviting to some men, and it feeds them. It feeds their attention. It feeds how they respond and how they react. So my mother taught me, one thing my mother taught me, and again, this was something that I didn't really understand in my younger years, and I used it in such a negative way. Everything had to be like brazen and mean and get out of my, if I didn't like you, like, and I had to learn to do better and deal better like that and respond better. Because one or two things could happen. He could respond and act and react to me in a negative manner, or or I mean it can be an embarrassing situation and he could respond and react to me in a negative situation. I embarrass myself. It's possible that I can embarrass myself, right? So when we're responding, we have to be sure that men or women, we have to be sure that we're not, our communication doesn't show a level of indecisiveness, of unsure of myself. And you end up with somebody sitting at your table. Whoa, what you doing here? Girl, because you smiled at him. You said, okay, and thank you. And that brother was like, oh, if I keep going, I got her attention. Don't be indecisive. I got her attention. Oh, I got his attention. That person just may be trying to be nice. I saw a meme one time, one of my boys posted, and it said, um, women don't think every man that says something to you wants you. My mother just taught me how to have manners. So you gotta understand. You gotta understand. Hey, Corey, you have to understand what someone is saying and what they're putting off. And if you have to be direct, just be direct. Nothing wrong with being direct, but we don't have to be nasty to be direct. No, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Keep it moving. I'm good, sis. Thank you. If they want to react and respond like a fool, then let them be a fool by themselves. But we can't be indecisive when we're giving a reaction or response to people because it puts them in a mindset that possibly you're giving them the wrong impression or you're giving them the wrong thought. So we can't be indecisive when we're doing this thing. Finally, y'all, we're gonna end this. It's 9 o'clock. But finally I have to say, know your worth. The easiest way to keep people from being at your table, hey Lex, and eating and nibbling, because people can nibble. People can nibble. They don't necessarily have to have a full plate and a full course meal, and you got all the people. You have to know your worth, because when you find yourself back and forth with the same person that you've realized he ain't got no business here. She has no business here. And you keep letting them come back and nibble. Know your worth. Let your no be no and your yes be yes. And if you find something in between that says, you know what, maybe I should look at this a little bit different, then understand why you're looking at that thing in a different manner. Understand what you're giving to it and why you're giving that time and energy to it. But if you find somebody nibbling, every time you turn around, here he comes. And I'm lonely. Well, it'll just be for a little while. He doesn't have to stay. Or yeah, I want to go on this trip, and I would really like for her to go with me because I need some company. I don't want to go by myself. I don't want to go to this party by myself. I don't want to do this by myself. Or it's the holidays, big one. It's the holidays, so let's call them up, letting them nibble. Finley says, "Girls, some overvalue their worth. Make sure you bring something to the table. Most definitely." Most definitely. But I'm not going down the worth. Know your worth. Listen, if somebody feels like if somebody feels like they're worthy, sometimes arrogant and cocky people I applaud. Because sometimes I can be cocky. Arrogant, I think arrogant has a negative connotation to it. But sometimes you have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt what your worth is. Now, whatever she bringing to your table, Finley, you may look at it and be like, scraps. But she may feel like, I mean, that's her. That's my plate, brother. Look, I know your worth, period. And if someone doesn't value who you are, value what you know your worth is, you don't have to be there. But I think that's the most important thing about this. I think it's the most important thing about um, allowing people to come to your table, allowing people to eat and be at your table, um, or people coming back and forth, like I said, nibbling when they have no business being there. No business being there. Know your worth. Love yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you find yourself in a place, in a position where your insecurities are taking you over and you have been told long enough that you're no good, nobody wants you, you're ugly, you're not valued. Because come on, y'all, let's be real. Not only children can be cruel, adults can be cruel as well. And if you find yourself in a place, in a position where you feel you're unworthy, first and foremost, you were created by a God. Man, the magnificence of him, just the thought of that alone. We were all created for something special. If you're not sure what that is, then you search that out and you find out what your purpose is, why you do what you do, why you're here. And let that be your brand for yourself. But when we're talking about relationships, know your worth. Know why Know why he doesn't belong at your table. She doesn't belong at your table. And even if you are in a relationship and have been there for a while and you don't know how to get out of it, sit back and make a pros and cons list. In counseling, especially if you're having couples counseling, they have you make lists, right? The pros and cons, what works, what doesn't work. And you compare your list. It's not always easy to get out of relationships, especially someone who has your heart, but they don't have good intentions for your life. You have to value yourself. Trust and believe, I promise you, when you get to a place of value and you know what you're worth, man, please. Man, please. That loneliness, yeah, we get lonely. Shoot, I get lonely. I get lonely at times. But when I think about the foolishness that goes on and the foolishness that can be allowed, it just irritates my spirit. Like I can't do it. I cannot do it. I would rather be in a place by myself, knowing that this too shall pass, because I know my value. I know my worth. No man didn't tell me, no woman didn't tell me. My father told me. I know who I am. All right, y'all. Good night. I enjoyed. This was our first one for 2023. Next week, y'all hit me with your topics. Continue to hit me with your topics. Bentley, you're gonna have to watch the playback. Hit me with your topics. Let me know what you want to delve into and talk about, y'all. And we're gonna do this thing. Listen, love on someone, show somebody they are special. Start with yourself and then let that ooze out everywhere else. I love y'all. Y'all have a great night. Have the great rest of the week going into the weekend. Have a great rest of the week. Thanks, Michelle. Love y'all. Y'all make it great. Y'all make these conversations good. Y'all make these conversations good. Keep posting, keep sending me things, and let's keep growing together because in this life, we need each other. Bye.